It's strange how quiet hospitals are before sunrise. The world outside is still half asleep, but inside those walls, the air hums with fear and hope tangled together. That morning, I sat beside my son Leo, as he swung his small legs over the edge of a hospital bed too big for him. He was 7, and about to have his chest open so doctors could fix a heart that was born broken. He looked up at me, eyes wide and unsure. "Mom, everyone's coming, right?" I smiled even though my throat burned. "Of course, baby. Grandma, Uncle Sam, Aunt Clara, everyone." He nodded, trusting me completely. That trust. It was the heaviest thing I've ever carried. I had called everyone 6 weeks ago. Begged really. Told them how serious it was, how scared Leo was. My mother promised she wouldn't miss it. "Sweetheart, we'll all be there," she said. My brother said he'd drive down. My sister said she'd take off work. My dad even said he'd bring Leo's favorite stuffed fox. But promises are cheap until they're tested. The night before surgery, Leo couldn't sleep. His small hand found mine in the dark. "What if I don't wake up?" he whispered. That I swallowed my fear. "You will, baby. You're brave. And when you wake up, everyone will be there. I promise." That was the last promise I should have made. We arrived at the hospital at 5:30 a.m. He was so brave, letting the nurse put the wristband on, changing into the little blue gown, but his eyes kept flicking toward the door. "Where's Grandma?" he asked. "She's probably just running late," I said, forcing a smile. "Uncle Sam too. Long drive." When they wheeled him toward the operating room, he clung to my hand. "Don't leave me." "I won't," I whispered. But eventually I had to let go. And then I sat in the waiting room, alone. 6:30. Nothing. 7:00. Still nothing. 87:15. I started calling. Mom voicemail. Clara voicemail. Sam voicemail. 87:45. My dad finally picked up. "Oh Mia, we can't make it today. Something came up with Clara's wedding. We're meeting the venue coordinator. Dad, Leo is in surgery right now. You promised." "It's the only appointment they had, honey. You know how wedding stuff is." "Then reschedule it." "We can't. Diane needs us. Leo needs you. He'll be fine. He's tough." He hung up. I sat there for 4 hours watching other families gather in groups, hugging, crying, praying together. Every child that came out of surgery had someone waiting: grandparents, uncles, siblings. My son had no one but me. When I finally walked into recovery, Leo's face was pale and groggy. His first words were, "Where is everyone?" "They couldn't make it," I said softly. "But I'm here. And the surgery went perfectly." He turned his face away and started to cry. The nurse looked at me with pity, and I hated that look. That night my mother called. "How's our little soldier?" "He's heartbroken," I said. "He kept asking why you didn't come." "Oh, don't be dramatic. Kids are resilient." "He was terrified, Mom. But it went fine, right? So everything worked out." I hung up. 3 days later she texted me. "Hi sweetheart, we need your help. Clara found her dream wedding dress. It's $5,000. Can you send your part by Friday?" $5,000. 3 days after they skipped his surgery, I stared at the screen, then opened my banking app and transferred 50 cents. For the veil I wrote, "Best wishes." Then I did something I should have done years ago. I logged into my account, the one they'd been added to for family emergencies, and removed every one of them, changed the passwords, locked everything down. The next morning the bank manager called. "Ms. Rivera, your mother is here. She's saying she lost access to an account." "She didn't lose it," I said. "I removed her. That account is mine." She's insisting there was family money involved. Every dollar in that account came from me. My job. My savings. If she continues to harass you, I'll file a complaint. I could hear her shouting in the background. Tell her she's stealing from her family. I hung up. An hour later, my brother showed up at my door angry. "What the hell, Mia? Mom said you locked her out of the family fund." "There is no family fund, Sam. That's my savings. She said you stole from her." "Then she's lying. She had access for emergencies, not wedding dresses." He sighed. "We didn't think Leo's surgery was that serious." I laughed bitterly. A 4-hour open heart surgery on a 7-year-old didn't sound serious enough? We thought it was routine. I told you exactly what it was. You just didn't want to hear it. So you're cutting everyone off now? I'm protecting my son. You all made your choice. Now I'm making mine. He left without another word. That afternoon my sister came. You're ruining my wedding, she snapped. Mom said you sent 50 cents. Yeah, for the veil. You locked her out of the emergency fund. It's not an emergency fund. It's my savings. And you don't get to call it family money just because you want a dress. You could afford it. I could. But I won't. Because money isn't the issue. It's loyalty. It's love. And you all failed when it mattered most. Tears welled in her eyes. So, I don't get my dream dress because of one mistake? One mistake. I said softly. My son went into surgery believing you'd all be there. He woke up alone. That's not one mistake. That's who you chose to be. She left crying. I didn't feel sorry. Over the next week, relatives I hadn't heard from in years started calling, lecturing me about family duty. I blocked them all. My father emailed a long letter about disappointment and obligations. Deleted. My mother tried showing up at my job. Security escorted her out. Through it all, I focused on Leo, his recovery, his therapy, his smile slowly returning. One night he asked, Mom, why didn't they come? I looked at his little chest, the scar still pink and healing. Because they made a bad choice, baby. They thought something else was more important. Was it? No. Nothing is more important than you. Even Grandma? Even Grandma. He smiled a little. Good. I like it when it's just us. 2 months later, his laughter sounded like sunlight again. My family didn't invite me to the wedding. I didn't care. Then one afternoon an envelope came in the mail. Inside, a check for $5,000 and a note from my father. Mia, I'm not asking you to cash this. I just want you to see what it represents. The amount we asked you to give for something meaningless while we ignored something vital. We were wrong. You were right. I'm sorry that I sat there holding that check, staring at the words until they blurred. Leo peeked over my shoulder. What's that? An apology, I said. Is it a good one? I think so. Do we have to see them now? No. Not unless you want to. He thought for a moment. I don't want to. Then we don't. I never cashed the check. But I kept the note because maybe someday forgiveness might find us. Or maybe not. Either way, I'll always choose him. Every single time.